Okay, guys. I've got another 10. Well, I've got a list of 10 lessons that I've learned. I did one that was 5. But since then I've just been trying them out, to be honest. So I'm gonna run through them now. See what you guys think. Maybe some of these are good, maybe some of these are bad. I don't really know, but I think there's definitely nuggets of wisdom in there. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with, so number 1, there's no such thing as a waste of time. Now, this one you have to take carefully because, obviously, it's sort of, it's true, but it's almost not, it can almost be unhelpful to know this, because the reality is you actually do need to be very efficient with your time if you want to get things done in life. But the reason I say there's no such thing as a waste of time is because in the really big picture, with, maybe there are a few exceptions to this, but most things you should do to learn and grow from them. And the only way you can learn and grow from things is from mistakes, which everyone always says, everyone knows that. But you can't really have a mistake without it also being some sort of waste of time at the same time, So let's say you're I don't know, you're revising. I'm trying to think of an example I got myself. Well, okay, I guess waste of time, waste of resources. What? Okay, I've got a perfect one. Okay, so today I basically I have this like sort of Italian cafetiere that you can get, makes espressos basically, but I don't really have any espresso mugs, so I'll just literally first thing in the morning just pour the whole thing into just a normal cup of coffee, which is like 2 or 3 espressos, which is gets me going. Let's just say that. But I wanted to get some espresso mugs because I thought, well, then I'll I'll be able to like measure out how much is actually a shot or 2 shots of espresso, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. And I went onto this like sort of Argos store where you sort of type in what you want, and I typed in espresso mug. I clicked something that I thought was an espresso mug. Turns out, because it looked kind of small on the screen. When I collected it and I got home, and it turns out it's just a normal. In fact, I got it here. Turns out what it turns out to be is just a normal sort of mug. It's like that, But I thought it was an espresso mug because obviously you've got no sort of judgment on the screen. And I thought, oh, that's a massive waste of time. That's a massive waste. I'm gonna have to go back tomorrow and refund it, and I probably won't be able to. So it's a waste of money, as well. And I was thinking all these things. But the reality is, I should have been more careful. Because I typed in espresso machine, espresso mug, but the actual thing I clicked on didn't say espresso cup anywhere. It just said coffee cup. So I'm just treating it as a lesson learned, Actually, same shopping trip, I bought a bunch of Seville oranges, in fact, I've got these very oranges right here. You can see they're really dark, sort of reddish, and the reason for that is because they're really sour, and you're meant to use them to make marmalades. And I sort of ate one. I thought, oh, I'm a fucking idiot, I spent. It's only a couple of quid, but what a waste of money, what a waste of time. it's like, well, I should have been more careful to read the signs, the sign on the food carefully. But you know, it's you know, just seeing everything as a learning experience is really beneficial. You know, you get out of a bad relationship and you think, oh, what a waste of time that was. You know, I wish I'd never got into that relationship in the first place. And of course, you know, it's very tempting to feel like that, and you can forgive someone for feeling that way, but at the same time, it's a lesson learned, and you're much better off having been through the relationship. You process it, you know, especially if you processed it properly, because it can bring you wisdom of what you need to avoid, or you need to how to approach things next time. And similarly with, you know, I mean, I think I need to think this a bit myself, is you know, in a romantic context, is you know, just get sort of stuck in a sense, and you know, have your wits about you, but you know, 90% of things turn out a waste of time anyway, you know, in some sense. So you just got to learn it, use it as a lesson. You know, like you invest into a friendship, and then that friend betrays you, or you fall out, and you think, oh, all that time spent investing on that person, and it's like, well, you know, now you know what to look for next time. You made a mistake, and now you know not to make it again. You know, you start a business and the business doesn't work, and you lose lots of money, and you think, oh, what a waste of time and money that was. And it's like, well, now you know how not to run a business. You know what I mean? Simple stuff, really. Simple stuff. Okay, number 2. Youth is not the epitome of life. So I'm a big fan of Chris, who's from First Man.